He weighed less than a carton of milk. Skim. His thin, stretched skin showed skeletons of Sudan's past. Where is his mummy? His ribs, the protectors of his heart, stacks of cartilage cell block shafts were protruding. Bone to marrow, his bones tomorrow will return back to the dust from which they came. The sun is beating, his skin is peeling, his heart hardly beating. This culture of hunger gives birth to this vulture, circling and swirling, hurling, turning like a soupy Persian dervish.
The recipe was formed in 2009 after we won the Canadian Festival of Spoken Word. We competed in Victoria and we came in first. And then after we won, we decided to stay together as a group and to continue to create more tea pieces and poetry and effect change around Canada.
Kay. Her name is Kay. Born in 1947 Moscow. Her father Mikhail was a soldier with the USSR Army. Born in 1947, aka AK-47.
A kiss from her lips would send you to heaven. Brothers Russian just to hold her.
Of the Stalin when they see her, but all bow as she sings to the rhythm of the Moscow ballet, like ba 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 ba.
The recipe is young, powerful, unique, super articulate, super dynamic, artistic. We are a lot of things in one. So we have a lot of different ingredients that come together very strongly to create probably the most unique poetic experience you can find in this country.
The ingredients in this recipe. Brandon, the water. Soft, deeply personal poems are his trademark. One theme throughout, love. Comey, the spice. His style draws from a variety of influences, jazz, African, hip-hop. Ikenna, the flame. His lines sometimes sound more like a roar, sparked by feminism, global poverty, civil rights. Ian, the glue. The bread at the table for every meal. The recipes say his wit and focus have held them together.
I personally think, as the recipe, when it comes to a dream, I think this kind of took us by storm. You know, the way we got into spoken word, into slamming to start with. Everybody came from very different experiences, right, and very different routes. And then when we got here, we went to Victoria, and we didn't really know where this would take us.
The recipe has headlined shows in Canada and Europe since their win in 2009. In 2010, Ian won the World's Poetry Slam in Paris. The hype surrounding spoken word is growing in the Canadian arts community. The media have noticed, and the recipe is said to be leading the pack.
If there is a form of poetry that's going to reach out to beyond just the people who are interested in poetry per se, I mean, it's going to be spoken word. There has to be a scene, a culture, you know, a healthy culture in the city built up that people can go to on a regular basis. People start talking about it. People like Ian and all these guys that in the recipe, they're obviously key. They're instrumental to building this scene.
Because each year, 15 million children die from painstaking stakes of hunger. Tell me why. 1 billion out of 2 billion children in the world are living in lands below poverty lines. Lying in the streets with palms reaching for arms on outstretched arms, calmly contemplating death. As death contemplates calmly, arms outstretched in hunger, no longer will we feel the breath of the future. But please, don't shed a tear. Because round these parts, pain is promised to break pieces. Pieces of hearts break on hot streets, and the stone face fits the faces of young beasts, and defeats a happy disposition. And mothers are sobbing on streets muddy and soggy, where reigns of poverty clothe fathers carrying coffins, made from the bones of dead, bloody, distorted, and bloated bodies. World hunger. I said no longer. We need to stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.
You know, a lot of people have preconceived notions or stereotypes as to what 4 black men on stage would look like or should sound like. And I believe we shatter those stereotypes in terms of the topics that we talk about, the style that we talk about it, and the diversity within the group itself.
We need to tame this political beast called hunger. We need to cut more checks out of our checks to checkmate world hunger.
Right.
We need to stop it,
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Because
The only reason that we are free to gorge while others of the same shape and depth of love are made to starve is this system.
So if the recipe is the avenue, or if Brandon Wint is the avenue, or if Poetic Speed, or if Open Secret, if myself are the avenue, we know that, you know, we're not just a business, we're not just an artistic collective, we're brothers, right?
Ottawa is hosting the 2010 Canadian Festival of Spoken Word, the same competition that brought the recipe together in 2009. Ikenna and Brandon are back, representing Ottawa on this year's Capital Slam team. 1 year after the win that formed their group, is their unique brand of poetry still relevant?
I feel it sobbing, with nowhere to turn. We can drink these things from the night.
If Adam was made of clay, would that not make us the sons of the earth?
And if the earth was the son of Adam, would splitting the earth not be like splitting an atom?
Like filthy, frenzied hyenas feeding on the flesh wounds of this decaying corpse called Earth, we are the scavenging, laughing cannibals crying inside and crying out, hypocritically for nature's mercy after errors upon errors of mindless violence. With a lot of arms, we have armed ourselves in an arms race against man, wasting the Earth's natural resources on unnatural means and ends like war. So let us digest this food for thought and unleash power on political devils until the powers that be show on the world's grief and the pestilence of poverty is impoverished.
In first place, with a 109.9, CFSW champions for the second year in a row, Capital Slam!
What did Wyclef say? What did Wyclef say? Wyclef say? Wyclef say? Wyclef says 2 times. 2 times. Come on.
So now we can say 2-time champs. You know, obviously, like we're moving in a different direction in terms of spoken word. So this is good. It's good that this was in Ottawa. The recipe is from Ottawa. We're just going to continue building what we're building. You know.
By the end of this poem, over 200 children would have died from starvation and hunger. 201.
Stop it.
202.
Stop it.
203.
Stop it.
204.
Stop it.
205.
Stop
We need
it.
to stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
For the 25th hour, I'm Rosella Chirambo.